Good morning, this is Meir Valensky with Driving Markets. I hope you're well. Okay, so this is a Sunday morning, just catch up on where we're at last week. A couple of things regarding driving markets. It is a raw video. A lot of people are saying I should edit it, I should do lighting, I should do this, I should do that, but it is just a raw video. That's what it is. Basically a raw video, just clean the camera there. So what you're getting is unedited, straightforward market reporting, and if there's mistakes in the middle, that's due to the fact that I'm just ad hocing as we go along, so take that into account. Alright, so let's catch up where the markets are at. So Friday was mainly driven by the energy stocks. Very interesting. Energy stocks are normally defensive stocks, or normally people pile into them when they're bearish. In other words, they're worried that markets will go down. But on Friday, it looks like a lot of the energy stocks were invested in, bought into, on the basis that they pay dividends. So it looks like investors don't want to get rid of their portfolios, but they're willing to take on energy stocks which will give them a dividend return, because in times of tough markets, what you're looking for in a downgraded profits on companies that are constantly going to be paying you dividends. So there was a big spike in energy stocks on Friday. What else also went up? Well, the two main microchips went up, which was Nvidia and Intel. They shot up on the back of the US government is going to be investing a lot more money in microchip development. You have to remember that 90% of microchips or semiconductor chips are produced in Taiwan. Therefore, there's too much overseas dependence on semiconductor chips. And what they're looking for is to take that dependence away from the Southeast Asia and back into the States. And therefore semiconductors are going up on the back of they can repatriate that semiconductor production back into the States, which will give more control in the US rather than passing on that control or that production of semiconductors to overseas countries, which I've always said for many months now in driving markets, that the fact that semiconductor chips is totally produced by overseas competitors that could leave the world, the US and the world, at a vulnerable stage when semiconductors are used across the board in all aspects of our lives. So just be aware of that. That's very important. Furthermore, what else have we got? We've got a very interesting point came out on Friday where more banks, Citibank, Bank of America, have joined Goldman Sachs and other banks in stating that interest rates in the States are going to go up much more aggressively than stated. It's funny that, because I've been saying this since the beginning of the year. I've been saying already before in December and in January that interest rates in the States are going to be around about 3.5 to 4% this year. I actually upgraded that to probably 5%. And guess what? All the top analysts of Citibank, Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, Merrill Lynch, JP Morgan are now all falling in line with Meir Valensky at Driving Markets and saying, yes, interest rates are going to be around about 3.5%. What does that mean? They believe that the FOMC, the Fed, Jerome Powell, and the Fed are going to increase interest rates by 50 basis points in May. I've been saying that already for a while. In fact, I think the rest of the year there's going to be a 50 basis points increase at every meeting. And we could be looking at more than 3.5% by the end of the year. We could be looking at 4 to 4.5%. And these interest rates will continue all the way through to 2023. In 2023, you could see interest rates running at 6-7%. I know it's hard to believe today, but you could see that because the supply chain inflation and underlying cost of raw materials and commodities is just going up all the time, so be aware of that. What's interesting is that the market seems to have taken into account the fact that they've got rising interest rates, rising commodity prices, geopolitical crisis between Russia and Ukraine, which could spread. Russia just bombed Lviv, which is on the border of Poland. Can you imagine if a bomb falls on Poland? what will Sleepy Joe do if he's awake? He might do something. On the other hand, most likely, Lord, he won't do a thing. But that could pull NATO into the war, and therefore that could expand the tension globally. And before you know it, you've got a major war going on in Europe with NATO against Russia, and that would have a significant impact on markets. But again, as someone said on Friday, one of my senior colleagues, who's very well-to-do in the market and understands it well, he said, Mayor, I'm not a bear and he's not a bull. He goes by where the market's at the moment. And that's true. I do feel that the market trend, and I can see the market trend is down. So I'm just trying to give you as much information as possible to look forward that the market, in my opinion, is going to go down. But not everyone holds that opinion. Many people have the opinion with full employment and taking into account that everyone knows all about interest rates and the fact that there's huge demand out there and there's $3 trillion sitting on the sidelines, or bulls, or they're saying that the market's already ready to move forward. That could be the case. Let's look at cryptos. Bitcoin moved up on Friday. As I said, it looks like that these cryptos are going to move up. It could be a good time to get involved, because I do believe that Bitcoin is going to go up to $100,000 a coin. That's my opinion, of course, and it is very, very volatile. So one of the contradictions in my driving markets is that if Bitcoin is a risk-on investment, why am I telling everyone that the market's going down? Because Bitcoin, being only 21 million coins in circulation, could be deemed as a risk-on investment as opposed to the rest of the market, which I believe is very, very overpriced. That's the difference. I don't think Bitcoin is overpriced. That's the main issue. So this is Mayor Valensky with Driving Markets on a Sunday. Contact me on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on WhatsApp. Subscribe, like, pass your comments. Let's get the channel out there. Have a good day. Speak to you soon. Let's close this Driving Markets 1 second and